NKC Art. Right, now that everybody's ready, what we're going to do is we're going to mix our primary colors, 2 in each beaker. So you have your red, your blue, and your yellow. You've got water and your paintbrush. What you're going to do is, in the first one, we're going to do some red and yellow. The yellow is a lot lighter, so you're going to want a lot more yellow than you'd have red for it to turn orange. So get a big scoop of yellow on your paintbrush, kind of roll it off onto your paper. When you've done that, wash that brush off really, really good, and then wipe it on your towel. And then you're going to get just a tiny bit of red, so just barely dip it in. And see, just a little amount of red will do since it's such a dark color. And then you're going to swirl them around and combine them to see your orange. Now if you have a lot more yellow in it, it's going to be a yellowy orange. If you have more red in it, it's going to be a red type orange. If you have too much red, it may not be very orange at all, but that's why we wanted to have more yellow than we did red on our paper. When you're done mixing your orange together, go ahead and wash your brush off. And in the next one, I think we're going to do our yellow and our blue primary color. So again, the yellow is lighter, so you want a giant scoop of yellow and a small scoop of blue, just like we did in the first beaker. So I've got my giant chunk of yellow on my brush, and I'm going to kind of wipe it off, smear it all over my beaker. And then I'm going to make sure to wash my brush off, and then dry it off on the towel a little bit. And then I'm going to just barely dip it into the blue. So just a tiny bit of blue on my paintbrush. And then I'm just going to start mixing those together to find out what kind of green I have. Again, too much blue, it might not be very green. If you have a lot of yellow, it might be more of a yellowy green, kind of like mine is, and that's okay. And on the last one, we've only got 2 colors left that we're going to mix together. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the red and the blue in this beaker. The blue this time is darker than the red, so you're going to want a big scoop of red and just a small scoop of blue for this beaker. So I'm going to start with my red and get a big huge scoop on my brush, go down to my last beaker, and again just kind of roll it around, get all that red off. Wash that brush off really good before you put it in the blue. And then I'm just going to dip it in the blue just a smidge. And then I'm going to bring it down and mix it together in my beaker to see what kind of purple I make. Mine looks a little bit red. I think I need just a small amount of blue more, and it might look a little bit more purple. There we go. So I'm going to mix that around, nice purple color, and then I'm going to wash my brush back off because we're done with the paint. And notice, let's see, all of these colors that we just made are called secondary colors. So we took the primary colors, mixed them together, and made our secondary colors. On the bottom, we're going to take a Sharpie, so get a Sharpie in your hand, and we're going to write down the 2 colors that we mixed together. So like red plus yellow would be on our first beaker, because those 2 combined is what gave us the orange color. So we're going to write red plus yellow, and that shows us that the orange is what we got. On the middle beaker, or the next beaker, we're going to write blue plus green, or blue plus green, it makes green, blue plus yellow. And so when we've combined those 2, we ended up with our green color. On the last beaker, we mixed red and blue together, the only 2 primary colors we haven't put together yet. So red plus blue, and that gave us our nice purple color that we have. When you're all finished, you're going to take your paper, or raise your hand, and I'll call you over to put your paper on the drying rack.